If you've ever wondered how some gardeners and farmers seem to pull in healthy, abundant harvests year after year, without draining their soil or battling endless pests, the secret may lie in an age-old practice the Amish have quietly perfected: crop rotation. I'll admit, when I first stumbled on this method it seemed too simple to hold such power, but once I began studying and applying it in my own garden, I understood why Amish farmers trust this system like a family heirloom. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain so you can bring this secret into your own backyard beds. For Amish farmers, gardening is not a hobby, it's survival, tradition, and community all wrapped together. They don't rely on chemical shortcuts, instead they read their soil like a trusted friend. Crop rotation is their way of feeding the soil while harvesting food, ensuring that every season the ground is richer, not poorer. Where many gardeners pour on fertilizers year after year, the Amish let their plants themselves do the work. By carefully choosing which crops follow which, they balance nutrients, disrupt pests, and keep their soil alive with organic fertility. At its heart, the Amish rotation system is built on a simple cycle of nutrient givers and nutrient takers. Plants don't all treat the soil the same way. Some crops pull heavily on nutrients, especially nitrogen. Others, like legumes, actually add nitrogen back into the soil. Still others help rest the soil while improving structure and feeding soil microbes. The Amish rotate these plant families so that the soil is never left exhausted and pests never get too comfortable. Let's break down their typical 4-year cycle in detail. Year 1, we start with heavy feeders, what I like to call the takers. These are plants that really need rich soil to thrive. Think of corn, tomatoes, cabbage, broccoli, and squash. These crops, they just love nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. But they're also the ones most likely to leave your soil pretty depleted if you plant them in the same spot, season after season. That's exactly why the Amish never let them sit in one place for too long. I'll tell you, when I grew tomatoes in the same bed 2 years in a row, I learned the hard way. Yellowing leaves, blossom end rot, and a soil test practically screaming low nitrogen. Amish farmers, they avoid that kind of heartbreak by always giving the heavy feeders a fresh start on nutrient-rich ground. Year 2 is all about the givers, legumes like beans, peas, lentils, and others. After the soil is given so much, the Amish bring in these plants because they work with special root bacteria to fix nitrogen from the air and store it right in the soil. Here's the magic. When those roots break down, they leave behind natural fertilizer. So instead of buying bags of nitrogen, Amish farmers just let beans and peas do the hard work. If you've never tried planting pole beans where your corn once stood, you'll honestly be shocked at how your soil feels the next season. Darker, richer, and crumbly with life. Year 3, the Amish move into root crops. Think carrots, onions, beets, and potatoes. Now these don't demand as much nitrogen as the heavy feeders, but they still get a boost from what the legumes left behind. Root crops also help break up soil compaction, letting water and air move freely. Alongside roots, the Amish often sow cover crops like oats or clover to keep feeding the soil. These covers act like a green blanket, preventing erosion, suppressing weeds, and pumping organic matter into the earth. In my own beds, I've noticed how potatoes loosen my clay soil after just one season. It's really like nature's own tilling system, no machines required. Year 4 is all about rest and rebuild. This final stage of the cycle, well, it's really focused on rest and recovery. The Amish often turn to grains like wheat, rye, or barley, and they'll pair those with cover crops such as alfalfa or clover. But this stage does more than just let the soil rest, it actually recharges it. Grains send down deep roots that scavenge nutrients from those lower soil layers, while the cover crops fix nitrogen and help build up organic matter. By the end of this year, the soil is restored, balanced, and honestly ready to welcome those heavy feeders all over again. Think of it like crop yoga: stretching, breathing, and restoring strength before the next sprint. Here's the pest and disease secret nobody really talks about. Rotation, well, it isn't just about nutrients, it's actually a powerful pest and disease control strategy too. A lot of garden enemies are specialists. Tomato hornworms, for example, love nightshades. Cabbage worms, they love brassicas. Potato beetles, well, you can probably guess. When you move crops around each year, you break these pests' life cycles. Instead of finding their favorite food waiting in the same spot, they either starve or just move on. Amish farmers, they rarely suffer the relentless pest pressure that so many modern gardeners face, all because they deny pests the comfort of routine. I learned this firsthand when I stopped planting squash in the same place. Suddenly those squash vine borers that used to haunt my garden just disappeared. You know, you don't need acres of farmland to use this system. Even if you're gardening in raised beds or just a small backyard plot, the principle works just the same. Here's how you can adapt it. First, divide your growing space into 4 sections. Label them A, B, C, and D. Next, assign each section to a crop family, following the Amish cycle. So A is for heavy feeders, B is for legumes, C is for roots and soil builders, and D is for rest, grains and cover crops. Then each year, rotate everything clockwise. Whatever you grew in A moves to B the next season, and so on. By the time you hit year 5, you're back where you started, but with healthier soil and honestly way fewer problems. What makes this system so powerful isn't just one season's success, it's the compounding effect, year after year. Each season, you're not only harvesting food, you're investing in your soil bank. Over time, your soil gets richer, more balanced, and alive with all sorts of beneficial microbes. Your plants end up needing fewer outside inputs, and your garden becomes more resilient against things like drought, pests, and disease. That's the reason Amish farms stay fertile for generations while a lot of modern fields degrade under chemical dependency. It's not magic, it's patience, planning, and well, a real respect for the soil. So, the next time you're sketching out your garden plan, just remember the Amish secret. Don't just grow crops, grow soil. Follow the rotation cycle, trust the process, and watch as your garden transforms from struggling to thriving. Every gardener, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned grower, can benefit from this timeless wisdom. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to be Amish to honor the soil. You just need to listen, plan, and rotate. The secret crop rotation system Amish farmers swear by isn't really a secret at all. It's a forgotten art that a lot of modern gardeners overlook. By putting it back into practice, you'll find your soil stronger, your plants healthier, and your harvests, well, a whole lot more rewarding. If you found this guide useful, let's keep growing together. Go ahead and subscribe to SoilSage Chronicles on YouTube for more timeless gardening wisdom, and share this with a friend who wants to take their garden to the next level. Together, we can bring back the old ways that truly work.